Welcome to Wall Street Confidential. This is Jim Cramer. Hi, Jim. We're talking about the real reason retail has not taken a nosedive, and you reference a recent report published by the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. Tell us what you found.
Well, it
the
shows
rest of
that
us can't find it.
household debt as a percentage of income is going down. Now, I want to emphasize that if I wanted to make a splash as a media reporter, and if I had a view that the way you make a splash is to worry and scare people, which, by the way, is very good for ratings, and ratings are the determinant of what people do in the media. They would, if it has the added advantage of actually working out in the future, being right. I mean, no one's being wrong. They're correctly reporting news. But I'm saying that what you want to emphasize is more fear than greed. And I applaud that. And I'm not at all making a judgment on that because I am a commercial guy. But if you looked at this chart, you would say, wait a second, what about the big foreclosure problem? Well, maybe the foreclosure problem is actually limited to certain areas, which is the case. You would say, wait a minute, gasoline. Well, I don't know, maybe people aren't borrowing as much money. Have the people become more prudent? Have at last all the personal finance guys who say cut up your credit cards somehow gotten home? I don't know. This is data that can't be jiggered. This is data that shows that without a doubt, that people are spending less, they're borrowing less, and it doesn't fit the thesis. Again, when I was a reporter, I often felt that I would be given a thesis and I had to back it up by my editors. And again, I get frustrated because when I speak the truth about these things, it only gets me in trouble. But I feel like the people have to understand that if you wanted a fair and balanced view of things, you'd have to be presenting this chart against all the worries about consumer borrowing, whether the consumer's going to fall off. And it holds the key about why Walmart bottomed at 46. Walmart is coincident with this number, or maybe even lead with this number. This number from the St. Louis Federal Reserve says to me, go buy Walmart. That Walmart is going to be the winner here. And I really feel strongly that stock's going to 55.
A few other stocks that you mentioned, you have an article on Real Money regarding this trend. Darden, JCPenney, and Macy's. You say take some
Well,
a look
Macy's
at those
is
stocks.
awful, and yet awful, but always bought back stock. And it's a play. We've seen how that stock acts when it's awful. It tends to hold 38. So I like the risk reward there. Target's already moved up a lot. JCPenney, the scuttlebutt on JCPenney now is that the reason why they did well is because of all the fallout of the Macy's merger, Macy's May and Federal May, and that maybe that is now over, and that the run in JCPenney's over. This is a daunting thesis. I want to bet against it because I think management at JCPenney is actually in this kind of refurbishment with Ralph Lauren and will come on very strong. At 76, I really like that stock.
JCPenney also cited weakness in their furniture and how
everybody's got that. Federer's
furniture.
got that. And Macy's got the furniture problem is a real problem.
Yeah.
And I'm not dismissing it. Sears too. At a certain point, everything gets discounted, and I'm wondering whether Federated at 38. Macy at 38 isn't discounting the problem. Pessimism gets built into prices at a certain point, and we can't just continually discount the furniture thing. If you had an uptick in furniture, you'd see Macy's at 45 in a heartbeat. If it continued to stay down, I think it stays at 38. So I'm looking for like a 0 risk, 7 reward. That's Macy's.
All right, on Macy's, and the real reason why retail is doing pretty well.
Doing well.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Jim Cramer. This is Wall Street Confidential. Don't go away.